entrepreneurship among students and faculty at the university. The program involves discussions on various entrepreneurial opportunities available in different sectors by the experts. Each episode provides information about the existing innovations and startups in a particular area, the possible entrepreneurial opportunities, and the available funding opportunities in that area. So far, we have had sessions on innovation and entrepreneurship opportunities in various sectors including allied biological sciences, poultry sector, waste management, food processing, healthcare, tourism, environmental sciences, urban planning and development, geographical sciences, and biochemistry. In today's session, we will be discussing the innovation and entrepreneurship opportunities in the textile sector. We have with us Professor Heena K. Bijli, Professor, School of Continuing Education, IGNOU. We welcome you to this session, Professor Heena.
Thank you.
Professor Heena is a professor in the School of Continuing Education at the Indira Gandhi National Open University, IGNOU, New Delhi. She has more than 25 years of experience in the area. She has held the position of Director, School of Continuing Education, IGNOU, and specializes in the area of community resource management and extension. Professor Bijli has many research contributions and publications to her credit. We also have with us Dr. O.P. Sharma, Director NCIDE, IGNOU. Namaste. Dr. Sharma is an expert in the area of innovation and creativity and entrepreneurship. We welcome you to this session, Dr. Sharma, and we are really pleased to have both of you with us in the session. India is a global manufacturing hub for textiles and apparel with growing international and domestic demand. It has a fashion and apparel industry of vast diversity, spanning from high-end luxury brands to mass market retailers. In recent years, this industry has undergone a significant transformation characterized by creativity, innovation, and nurturing of new talent. In this scenario, the entrepreneurs can play a vital role in reshaping its contours. For the market to remain versatile, there is a strong need for entrepreneurs who have a keen understanding of varied customer preferences. As the industry is ever evolving, these entrepreneurs play a crucial role in aligning the market with the latest trends and customer demands. The textiles and apparel industry in India ranges from fiber, yarn, fabric to apparel. The industry is highly diversified with a wide range of segments ranging from products of traditional handloom, handicrafts, wool and silk products to the organized textile industry in India. Then we also have retail textile business. The organized textile industry in India is characterized by the use of technology for the mass production of textile products and includes spinning, weaving, processing, and apparel manufacturing. The retail textile business is also profitable as it involves no machinery, raw materials, and minimal workforce. So let us know more about this area and the various opportunities which are available for the entrepreneurs from our experts. To start the discussion, I would request Professor Heena Bijli to tell us more about the textile sector and what opportunities are available for startups in the sector.
Thank you. As we go ahead with this session, I would like to thank the National Center for Innovations and Distance Education for giving me this opportunity to deliberate on this topic. See, today is the age of millennials, and millennials are in need of a lot of skills, mostly the creative skills, problem-solving skills, networking, negotiation skills at any kind of workplace. We see that the landscape of the textile industry is emerging and evolving by the day. We also see that this is not a new sector. this has existed since the history of mankind. So we should be knowing that today, as we speak, new technologies, sustainable practices, and of course global influences are happening in the textile and fashion industry. Gone are the days when we used to think that we are only wearing handlooms or only making man-made fabrics. Today we are sitting on power looms, we are sitting on new practices, new trade promotion practices. We are talking about sustainable dyeing, we are talking about sustainable products, raw materials which are used in the fabric and apparel industry. So the list is endless, and there is we are spoiled for choices here actually as we go on to talk about the textile industry, because there is immense variety, there is immense scope in the fashion and design space. So this is where an opportunity is seen for the youth, especially who'd like to take a deep dive into the apparel and fashion industry and learn more about different aspects, whether it is designing, whether it is retail, whether it is wholesale, or any kind of bespoke fashion. You could think of a lot of technical and performance wear in these times, the outdoor gear, the knitwear, the women's wear, the sports wear. So all these are creating a demand for more and more expertise and skilling in the textile industry. So a lot of opportunities are there, like I said, in the retail area, retail arena. We need to look at how the product comes to its finishing point, right from the raw material sources. But then it has high investment there involved if you get into retail. So when you get into retail, you have those stores, you have the online stores, you need to hire office space, and you need to secure finances. You need to look for people who could promote your product, look for a niche in the initial stages, and so on. So this is how the retail space is built up. But before that, if you feel that you have the potential to start a manufacturing business, of course there's no end to it. Yarn manufacturing or fabric manufacturing, there are two types of manufacturing businesses that are involved here. So if you feel that you have a penchant for manufacturing, you will need to have, this will need a little more capital, a larger capital involvement. So that kind of investment is required. So in that case, you'll look for another product, a product line perhaps, or just a product, a fabric. You may have a new idea in your mind, or you may just have a subscription service, to design or curate somebody's wardrobe. So all these are different areas, the list is endless, the scope is really wide to look into the apparel industry. Then another area which is coming up is the design area. There are different ways of designing a fabric. There could be print design, there could be block printing, there could be digital printing. So there are a lot of innovations coming up in terms of 3D printing. We have infrared printing, we have different ways of printing. So printing itself is a very diverse kind of industry where a lot of mechanization and technology is involved. Then of course in dyeing you have VAT dyeing, you have organic dyeing, you have ombre dyeing. So there are different ways of dyeing in the dyeing industry. So all these are separate industries in themselves. So the manufacturing, right from preparation to preparing the fabric to the finishing line, all these, the product line, whatever product you choose, whether it is garment or textiles in itself. Garment would mean clothing. So that is one insight. So I'll just show you a picture of a fabric manufacturing unit, rather two fabric manufacturing units. Then you have garment manufacturing, where you need a lot of investment related to the tools which are needed, sewing machines, pattern makers, cutters, markers, and lot of other automated tools are used today in the garment manufacturing units. So garment manufacturing units, as you can see on the screen, this is just an example of a small manufacturing unit in a cluster in Delhi which manufactures jeans for men. So such small units are also existent in our hubs, clothing and textile industry hubs, and a lot of industries work in clusters. So this is also a very, very salient aspect of the garment, clothing and textile industry. We see that a lot of people are engaged in the industry, mostly the garment industry, particularly the handicraft industry is the second largest employer of people in India, especially in the unorganized sector. So there's a lot of scope and opportunity over there, and we need to understand the ways and means by which we could innovate in handicraft sector also, because a lot of startups in India are focusing on promoting and giving a revival to age-old traditional textiles and giving a chance to weavers so that they keep their cultural handicrafts in place and promote them in a very big way. So a lot of startups are there in India which are now coming up, which I'll tell you later in the program. So this is there. Then we also have areas where innovations are involved in the field of textiles and handicrafts. We need to first think of niche markets. What are the niche markets and niche opportunities there? This is in fact the best way of getting into a textiles business. So what is it that you want to start upon? Is it some product, which is very, very customized, you could specialize in, where you could really excel? So that is one specialized area where you could kind of basically exercise your unique talents and skills. Secondly, what are sustainable and eco-friendly textiles? Eco-friendly textiles are those textiles where innovative fabrics which are durable and the production methods that are involved. For example, a finishing method which is desizing. So that is also very, very uniquely, sustainable, and that is one of the major sustainable practices which we are seeing use of bioenzymes in our products. So I'll just show you a picture of fabrics made of biotextile enzymes. So these enzymes are used in the preparatory process, that is for descoring, or it's called bioscoring. So these types of practices are very, very prominent in order to promote sustainable textiles, also to promote organic fibers within the garment manufacturing process. Then of course design. You could think of creating your own textile design studio, in order to promote original designs, both to cater to domestic as well as international markets. So you can develop a unique style, a unique portfolio of work. Industry standard software could be used, such as Photoshop, Illustrator, or CAD for this. Then you can also look for potential customers, such as manufacturers, interior designers, and other retail and fashion brands. So you have to keep an eye for a lot of trend forecasts for this, so that you are keep yourself updated and abreast with the latest changes that are happening in the textile industry. And above all, please maintain and keep your copyrights with you, so that you know that you can patent your designs as well. So that is one these are some opportunities in brief.
Dr. Sharma, we have had a list of areas related to textile sector, like there are handloom, handicrafts, fabric manufacturing, garment manufacturing. So what are more that innovation, where there is scope for innovation, and what do you think where technology and creation of products can play a part? So would you like to reflect on this?
I was going through a report of the Ministry of Textile that was on the purpose of innovation in textile sector. They had highlighted some areas and the reasons why this kind of innovations are required. What Professor Heena has highlighted, there are several areas and sectors where innovations are required and it could be done. One such thing was like improving the working conditions of the worker, because you will agree the working condition of the workers in textile industry, that's sometimes something which need to be improved, and a special kind of changes are required. So what kind of innovations, what kind of newness could be brought there, so that is a worker friendly textile industry. That is a very important area. The viewer who are listening to us and our students, they can think of something, setting up a setup or industry which is a worker friendly basically. Another purpose or the reason of going for the innovation in textile sector, that was to increase the efficiency and the productivity of the workers, because workers, whatever conditions, situation, environment they are given, they have to work in them. We can think of what kind of improvement, what kind of changes are required, what kind of machinery is required, so that their efficiency is improved, and in result the productivity will also be. That is the area where this kind of innovation is required. And also with the changing technology and newer kind of technologies in different areas, there is a need to replace the older and the slower technologies and the machines also, so that the production is fast, workers' efficiency is also increased in that case. So we should try to use the advanced technologies for that purpose. That is a very important area. And also what she has highlighted, the design and development is also very important area, because the different kind of products are suitable to different situations, different requirements, they are being prepared. For that purpose, we'll have to think of different design and development of the products with the improved technical and functional properties, because functional properties, if we require the textile for the sports person, or for a person who is working in the kitchen, or a person who is going in the space, or different kind of things. So for all those different purposes, this kind of innovations are required, and once you do some innovative, and that can be converted into enterprise or the business also. Similarly, we can say the develop cost effective, because cost is also very important factor. Many things we know that we are having a very high quality with good strength and very comfortable fabric, but that is costly. So can we think of designing and developing the textile which is very cost effective, comfortable to the users, and these all things are there. And also whatever we are doing, and this is a very truth, that textile industry is creating a very big problem to the environment, maybe because of the dyes or other things which we are using for that purpose. So we'll have to find out the innovative ways, so that the technology is eco-friendly, product is eco-friendly, product is also biodegradable, which is not creating problem after use also. We can think of recycling of these products, what kind of recycling possibilities are there. These are the areas why we can this kind of innovations are required. And also very important thing is, because in Indian context we talk about richness of Indian textile crafts and arts which is being used on our fabric and the textiles, that need to be promoted, advertised, the visibility of Indian textile in the global market. That I think need to be enhanced, and for that purpose different kind of entrepreneurial initiatives are required, innovations are required. So these all things have been highlighted in that report, and it is very important that when we are talking about innovation and startup opportunities, in textile sector, these all things should be considered while talking about these all aspects.
So now coming to an important enterprise that is usually taken up or which comes out is a garment manufacturing unit that comes at the core of this textile industry. So ma'am, could you please tell us how can an entrepreneur student set up a garment manufacturing unit?
See, basically a garment manufacturing unit is a unit which manufactures clothing product which later converts into a brand. So basically a garment manufacturing unit caters to the needs of retail brands or fashion brands in the industry. It's a very, very diverse area, and for this, first of all, what kind of textile fabric is used, whether it is organic, whether it is cellulosic, whether it is man-made as in polyester, nylon, and things like that, acrylic. So such fabrics exist in the market, and a lot of combinations are also coming up in the market: cotton, silk, cotton, acrylic mixtures and things like that. So basically a garment manufacturing unit tries to cater to the needs of the diverse textile market, and at the same time, in order to start a garment manufacturing unit, you need to have a very creative potential, first of all. It is very different from becoming a wholesaler. You may also become a wholesaler, which involves low profit margins. But when you have to start a garment manufacturing unit, first try to understand what you want to get into, what kind of product you want to start with. Secondly, identify your customer base, what customer you want to cater to. Customer could be an interior designing house or a wall canvas house or a furnishings industry or something like that. So that is there. Then obtain necessary equipment and machinery. See what kind of finances you can secure for that. You may have to go in for loans or get started by just with your savings. You may even go into venture capital, private equities. You may get into angel investors, or just start with crowdfunding, to access loans and other credit facilities. So that is there. If that is what you are passionate about. If you are passionate about a niche brand or a niche area, that is the best way, like I said, to get into the industry, because you can start at a small scale level, because the scale of a garment manufacturing unit can be from small to large, or you can be somewhere in between. So that is there. But at the same time, see, what kind of raw materials you procure, whether the standards are ensured, high quality standards are ensured while procuring the material. What are your sourcing agencies and things like that. Whereas in retail, it is very different. Retail is something different, where you can even jump into e-commerce and get started, and you can start, kind of attending to your customers and creating marketing for them, a very, very memorable kind of an experience that is there. But a garment manufacturing unit is a different ball game altogether in the textile industry. It needs high capital inputs. It may not require high capital inputs also initially, based upon the kind of product you are into. Maybe it is towel fabric, or it could be cambric fabric, or it could just be marking cloth fabric, or it could just be jute products and things like that. So like Sharma ji had indicated, there's a lot of innovation which could be involved here, in the sense that if you speak about bespoke and custom made textiles, that is one area of innovation where a fresher could get into to start to begin a startup. Custom made textiles are those which a person can cater to the needs of commercial people or private individuals, and design products which are suited to their needs. For that, you may have to start making efforts to establish networking with different fashion houses, fashion brands and things like that. Or you can just become a brand manager here. and then you can have a double-edged expertise of building brands within the garment manufacturing unit, and then also take it forward where you can see a selling point place within your unit, a place where you can contact sellers and promote your products. So this is in a physical space, but in a e-platform, e-commerce space, the scenario is totally different. We can discuss that as and when the opportunity comes up.
So since you have mentioned e-commerce, so Dr. Sharma, what would you say how internet plays a role, and what all innovations are possible if we could have some apps or some sites designed for this?
In fact, whatever innovation or manufacturing one is doing at one place, that need to be made available to the users. For that purpose, in present time, internet or the e-commerce market is a very important media, and it is being very much used by the promoters, by the innovators, by the entrepreneurs also. Different kind of e-commerce platforms are available there, through which the different type of customized on-demand kind of
services are being
textiles,
provided,
and these all things are made available. Whatever your requirements are there, for whatever purpose you want, those all things are available, and this is a kind of market which is growing day by day. A lot of scope is there, keeping in view the population of the country. And why to be limited to the country? Because now globe is the one blaze, one thing. So we can reach out to the entire world through this e-commerce platform, and many of our Indian textiles, fabric, and these are clothing, they are now available throughout the world.
And we have entrepreneurs coming up with new
particularly
apps.
If we talk about the traditional costumes and traditional kind of the richness which we have in the field of textile, that need to be promoted and made available to the world and to the people, and for that the e-commerce market can play a very important role. And in that context, the mobile apps, softwares, and the website, interactive websites, they are being created, and there is a lot of scope, because we can study the existing platforms, existing websites, what are the gap areas, what kind of need they are not meeting, what kind of other challenges they are facing. Accordingly, our students and those who are viewing us, they can think of creating e-commerce market, mobile apps, and then make these all textiles and other things available to the entire world.
Like an app called Meesho is becoming so popular.
Yes.
There is Myntra is already.
Myntra is very popular.
Meesho has created a different sort of segment.
Yes.
So such initiatives can be taken up.
Need is I think whosoever is trying to do something in this context, they should first study those existing apps. What are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, what kind of challenges they are facing, so that you should do something unique, something different. What they are doing, what is existing. So that is very important when you talk about the innovation or startup, because if you are doing the similar kind of thing for them, then I think it may not be as effective as you are thinking.
Right. So we will take a short break, and then we will carry on further the discussion. बताइए, आधा घंटा निकल गया ना 2 क्वेश्चन से.
इसमें मुझे बोलना है इसके बारे में, हाउ टू सेट अप वेबसाइट.
अब ये नेक्स्ट
MA education program, and this is one of the popular program of IGNOU. This program has awarded as the best master degree program of IGNOU. Let us focus upon the objectives of the program. To enable learners to understand and appreciate knowledge structures and paradigms of education, to make learners understand education as a discipline from different contexts and perspectives, to develop professionals for effective participation in educational actions and discourses in different areas of education, and to create a community of scholars adequately equipped for participation in educational discourses. Friends, MA Education program has wider career opportunity and placement. After pursuing MA Education program, you can appear UGC, NET and JRF in education discipline. You can also pursue PhD in education discipline. After pursuing MA Education program, you can be a faculty in the liberal discipline of education, and you can also be a faculty in teacher education institutions with a BEd degree along with your MA Education degree. You can also be an educational entrepreneur, and you can also work in different national and international organizations just like Commonwealth of Learning, UNESCO, UNICEF, World Bank, and also different research institutions. The eligibility of the program is a bachelor's degree from any recognized university. This program is of minimum duration of 2 years and a maximum duration is of 4 years. Medium of instruction is English. However, the learners can write their assignment, term and examination, dissertation proposal and dissertation report in Hindi language. The program is offered in both the sessions of January and July as per the IGNOU practice. Now let us go through the courses that you have to study in the first year and second year of your program. Both continuous and term and evaluation processes are adopted in MA Education program. 30% credit is given to continuous assessment, that is the course-wise assignments, and 70% weightage is given to term and examination that are conducted in the month of June and December every year. So far as dissertation is concerned, dissertation report will be evaluated, and at the same time, viva voce examination will be taken for your dissertation course. For further information, you can write to the program coordinators, Professor Nirod Kumar Das. You can also write to me, Dr. Niradhar De. For more detail, you can go through the common prospectus, which is uploaded in IGNOU website, www.ignou.ac.in. Why wait? Come and join with us and enjoy happy learning.
We welcome you back to the Udyamita Ki Or session on innovation and startup opportunities in textile sector. To carry the discussion forward, I would request Professor Heena to please tell us how a student can set up an online store.
True that, Dr. Sujata, that's a very relevant question, because most of the startups today are trying to focus on, e-commerce platforms, because they have become a very viable and cost-effective way of launching right away. So the first thing which I'd like to tell all the listeners today is that it's not a very difficult proposition to get into starting an online store, because the first thing which you need to understand is how you can build your niche. You may be having some idea regarding a particular fabric or a garment in your mind, and then you want to identify that niche in your mind. Now a niche is something very new and something where you have a passion for, and you also want to see what is special about your product, which is not there on other marketing platforms. Secondly, try to choose a name and register your brand. The name which you want to call your company, that should be something which a customer or a consumer can identify with. So the name should also be easy, so that when you put it up on the website, you're able to navigate. So the name should also be related to the product. So product can be something which you acquire wholesale or through your own production line. Maybe you already have a manufacturing unit and from there you're trying to procure it. Or you can just acquire your products through drop shipping methods. That is where the supplier directly provides the product to the customer and you're just trying to sell the product. So you are just the seller in between who is trying to supply the product to the customer through the original supplier. So this is called drop shipping. Then the third step is when you try to register, see if you have any legal or taxation issues, what are the liabilities involved on the business structure you're having. Is it sole proprietorship? Are you going to be the sole owner of your company, or you're going to start it up in partnership, or are you going to be a cooperative? So what kind of liabilities are there? What kind of taxation requirements are there? Those have to be worked on. Then the fourth step is you create your website. Now this is a very interesting thing because you can launch your website with the help of e-commerce platforms. So, and also see if there is any domain, with which you can attach yourself with. For example, Myntra.com or Urbanic.com and so on. So that is very, very important. Also pay processing, that should be there on the website, and make sure that you upload only those pictures which have sharp clarity so that whoever observes them on different apps sees very clear pictures about your website. And also see that there is good branding happening on your website. Your product line is showcased really well, and the customers can easily navigate through the website and so on. Then the fourth step is marketing your own online clothing. See how you can market your clothing. Try to see that you get onto popular marketing platforms. See how search engine optimizations can help you research on keywords. So research first on keywords for which there are certain tools already existing on the website, which also provide a lot of synergy to your products. So search engine optimization is the first best way. Then there are other ways of advertising your website, like through direct advertisement or through affiliate advertising or through other ways of advertising, paid advertisements and so on. So these are some basic ways in which you can actually start an online store to begin with.
We commonly come across terms such as circular fashion and smart textiles, technical textiles. Could you please tell us something about it?
Yeah, technical textiles, like I mentioned earlier, these are textiles, which are very follow a very niche product segment, product line, where a lot of techno wear is involved. Even doctors and health specialists, they need to wear technology-based garments, and the outdoor wear, outdoor gear, sports wear, athletic wear, all these are called, come under the term technical textiles. And this trend is emerging as we speak. We are seeing that this trend is very demand driven, and a lot of apparel houses and fashion brands, any startup, any person who wants to become an entrepreneur should think of aligning themselves with brands and fashion houses so that they can cater to that kind of techno wear in which they specialize on. And of course, there are many startups in India which focus on, upscaling and recycling their products. So in that case, what happens is you may even try to kind of make your product, repurpose your product and recycle your product and convert a particular textile product into another product which is usable. For example, garments could be converted into bags and things like that. So there the role of the handicraft industry can be seen as a very prominent emerging industry where a lot of startups are working in consonance. There is a very big startup house called Greenware that tries to focus on solar powered looms, where all the artisans, many artisans from different parts of India, particularly the rural and marginalized people, they work, especially the women, they work on solar operated looms. So this is some kind of recycling strategy and, to cover up the circular fashion aspect also, which you were rightly pointing out to. So these are certain examples. Then there is Karagiri, which is playing such a role, where 2,500 artisans today are engaged from different parts of Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu and other parts of India, where the person who started this startup, started with a very meager amount of loan and then went on to diversify their products, but keeping in mind the cultural heritage and promoting the artisans from different parts of the country. So there are small examples. Then there is Textile Infomedia, which is India's leading B2B, business to business portal, which provides you all information about the textile industry related to wholesalers, related to manufacturers and retail providers. So these can, all those people who want to have their own startup could refer to such online platforms where they'll get a lot of ideas to begin with their own startup. Thank
Dr.
you.
Sharma, would you like to add something to this?
In fact, in case of circular fashion, I was reading somewhere like the used clothes, their fibers from those are being preserved or reused for that purpose, and again new clothes are being woven with the help of those fibers. That is one thing where I think a lot of innovation is needed. A lot of research is also required whether this kind of product are actually strong enough to be used for a textile purpose. If so, then what kind of possibilities are there that can be done? Similarly, what she was talking about this recycling, in that I was reading somewhere that there are clothes which can repair themselves also. So that is also possible. How it is possible, I think there is a question of research and innovation. So easy to repair the clothes, so that kind of possibilities are there.
Recycling and also
reused.
upcycling also.
Upcycling
Yes.
also.
Yeah.
And different kind of other products could be prepared by using them. In addition to this, I wanted to just add in the discussion what she was talking about, the website or e-market places. Today, a lot of AI is being used for that, because we want to study the mood of the persons or the customers, what kind of perception they are having, what kind of need they have as per their searches, search of the items, search of the words, terms on the website. Accordingly, those e-marketplace, they should also have that kind of possibilities, so that similar kind of product are served to them, are provided in their inbox. So that will also enhance the possibility of making things available to a larger group of the people.
Can you elaborate on some schemes of Government of India for supporting startups in the textile sector?
In fact, in this context, I would like to tell you one very important scheme, that is a National Technical Textile Mission, that I was reading somewhere, and Professor Heena may highlight on that. That's a very big and important scheme of the Textile Ministry, and that is focusing mainly on 4 aspects. One is research, innovation and development. So in that research and innovation in the field of textile is being highlighted, and lot of emphasis is given on that. Another area in that is the promotion and market development in the field of textile. What kind of market possibilities are there, and that should be enhanced through this National Technical Textile Mission. And third very important area is, which I was also mentioning, that we should increase our visibility worldwide about the Indian textile, that is the export promotion. So export promotion is also very important aspect. And a fourth very important, and which in fact is very important in all sectors, that is the education, training and skill development. So this mission is very much emphasizing on the research and innovation and skill development. Another very important scheme of the Government of India, that is a scheme of integrated textile park.
Yes.
That scheme is promoting the entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial opportunities in the field of textile, and is also providing financial assistance to the persons to do innovations, to take up entrepreneurial initiatives, startups and those all things. And another very important scheme, that is the GREAT, GREAT. That is also focusing on the innovation, research for the scientists, technologists, the startup initiators, founders, entrepreneurs, and that provides a lot of financial support also in that field. So these are few schemes which are very much supporting and promoting the innovation, entrepreneurship and startup in the field of textile, and are being promoted by the Government of India. In addition to this Government of India's scheme, there are other schemes also which are being promoted by the private venture capitalists and other persons also.
Even the funds are being provided under the Startup India mission also.
Yes, that is a very common scheme, because under that scheme need not to be from the textile. Any field person, they have an idea, business idea, they can approach to the Startup India. But these 3 schemes are there primarily focusing on the textile area. That's why
I agree to that, because what you rightly pointed out is there is another Prime Minister's Pradhan Mantri Credit Scheme, that is also focusing on such programs, not just for people catering to the textile sector, but to other sectors as well. And then the Mudra scheme of the Government of India, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, that also caters to people who are engaged in the textile industry, in the largely the unorganized sector, by providing credits and loans to people living in the rural fringes and the marginalized areas. We also have an upgraded scheme called the Amended Technology Upgraded Fund Scheme, and the Integrated Skill Development Scheme. So there are also certain schemes which provide subsidies, for creating common facility center through the cluster development program scheme. And also there's another scheme for the knitting industry, people who are doing the knitting and knitwear manufacturing process. For them, there is another scheme called PowerTex India scheme. So a lot of schemes are there, a lot of credit facilities are there, and through these schemes, those who want to jump into the textile industry, who want to start their own entrepreneurship, can definitely avail of such schemes and procure loans, or even start right away with their own savings. The only thing which one needs to keep in mind is be passionate about the work you do, be really be aware of what is happening in the textile industry, keep all the resources on your fingertips, be aware of what is happening in the handloom sector, get in touch with those startups, which are focusing on sustainable practices, using organic dyes, organic materials to prepare their fabrics, using recycling methods, upcycling methods, as well as reusing their own textiles and other textile products as rightly highlighted by Dr. O.P. Sharma. So I think that is the best way to finally identify your niche and start and begin with as an entrepreneur in the textile industry.
So what kind of,
In textile industry, one very important area is the processing of management of the affluent of the textile industry. And I would like to tell you that Government of India is too much supporting and promoting innovation in that area also, for the common effluent treatment plants. What kind of innovations could be there so that they are least polluting the groundwater, environment, because the effluents coming out of the industry, they are very harmful to the earth as well as to the water and air. For that purpose, I think there is a lot of scope for innovation to find out new technologies, new ways of proper treatment of these effluents from the industry, textile industry, and for their proper management. That is very important, and government is supporting in that area.
So what kind of skill sets are required for initiating a business or a startup in the textile sector?
So definitely business acumen is required in the first place. Needless to say that creativity and problem solving skills are definitely the need of the hour. But besides that, business acumen, how you deal with your customers, what kind of organizational skills are there, how can you negotiate, and how can you persuade. So negotiation skills and persuasion skills are very, very important. Soft skills definitely are pertinent when it comes to the textile industry. But at the same time, also try to, be very, very customer friendly. Try to observe what is happening in the market. Those kind of skill sets. Also be aware of the product line you're into. Try to get into niche areas, bespoke and customized textiles, made to order textiles. That is, start small, start your unit small, start textiles small, but then as you go on, as you build your business, you can definitely grab a lot of opportunities and diversify your product. So that the basic skill sets are these, but besides that, like we said, try to get into sustainable practices, be more aware of the pulse of the fashion industry as well, and engage with reputed brands so that your quality is not compromised. The quality of the product is not compromised in every way. So these are some basic skill sets. You need not be a person who has studied textiles. For a person who has not studied textiles, you may even go into content management or brand management in textiles, and then jump into some kind of knowledge, get into some kind of knowledge-based activity or internship or apprenticeship to know more about the textiles industry, so that your pathways, your career pathways open up into different arenas of entrepreneurship in the textiles industry.
So I think in addition to this, very important is you should have some kind of passion to go in that direction.
Definitely.
If you have passion to do some business, and particularly in the textile sector, you should try to understand what kind of needs are there, what kind of problems people are facing, what kind of gap areas there in the existing sector, so that you can think of the creative or innovative solution. And when you talk about the business, very important aspect is you should have a patience and risk taking ability, because many times in business there are ups and downs. It's not always that you are growing and then getting profits. Sometimes there are adverse situations also. So you should be ready for facing those adverse situations, and then accept that, and go ahead again with the greater zeal, and then improvised methodologies and strategies. That is very important.
Could you highlight some of the challenges which normally the entrepreneurs face in this sector?
Yes, one major challenge which happens when you start an online store is that before you start establishing your store, you need to procure your supplies. Usually what happens is once you have opened your website, but you have not contacted your suppliers. So your sourcing has to be in place much beforehand, maybe 2 or 3 months beforehand, so that you have all your products in hand before you launch your website. So there are some basic pitfalls that can be seen, and such startups fail in such cases. Secondly, know the pulse of the consumer, what the consumer wants. Maybe your product is different from what the consumer wants in your product category. That is very, very important. Lastly, the supply chain management. Supply chain management is very weak in the textile industry still in terms of entrepreneurship. That has to be quickly looked into. And lastly, of course, technology. Upgradation of technology is a basic lacuna which is predominant in the textile industry. So be upgraded with the latest technology trends. Like we said, a lot of schemes are there in place. Avail of the schemes and various other opportunities in niche segments which you can, adopt for your product line. So these challenges can be mitigated in this way.
In addition to it, I think when you are talking about the manufacturing of textile, one important major challenge would be the taking clearances from the Environment Ministry, because a lot of issues related to environment are there. So taking clearances from there, that may be a very important and very relevant kind of issue challenge that you need to address. And certainly I was talking about the affluence of these manufacturing units, treatment of those, because you cannot start this industry without thinking of proper affluent management and disposal kind of thing. That is very important.
Definitely.
Any concluding suggestions to our students who are interested in taking up who have some idea of starting some business or enterprise in the textile sector?
Just be aware of smart textiles, all those new areas which are coming up, niche areas. Become aware of sustainable practices. Be aware of the legal requirements that are needed for starting an enterprise. Definitely also be very, very alert and active as to what is happening and changing in the textiles industry. Cater to the needs of eco-friendly handicraftsmen who are engaged in the textiles industry. Be aware of their craft work and try to promote those crafts, because this is a niche segment which is coming up in a very big way. And of course, customization and personalization of products is a very great way of starting any kind of venture in the textile industry. So that is definitely given.
I would like to give two things. One is just think of your strength and your passion. What is your interest you want to work? And secondly, do a thorough market study. What kind of needs are there? What kind of gap areas are there in the textile industry where you would like to pitch in as per the strength and interest of your in that area. That's very important.
So thank you. Now it is time to conclude the session. We thank our experts, Professor Heena Bijli and Dr. O.P. Sharma, and we also thank our viewers for joining in. We will see you next in our next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello viewers,